All right.
Okay.
We're live? We're
All
live.
right. Okay, so we are now live with another episode of DJLaoD and JY for the Lulz. And I just found out that it's actually pronounced DJLaoD. Like,
Correct. Yeah.
apparently you're going for some clever pun. I'm
Well,
pretty
kind
slow.
of. Yeah.
I'm pretty slow, so I didn't actually
It's
get
A
that.
lot of people say LaoD. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. So DJLaoD. But
Yeah.
I'm just gonna occasionally say DJLaoD.
That's fine.
We spent 2 hours trying to set up this
Yeah.
video.
Literally 2 hours, everyone. So
Because I'm in Utah taking my in-laws to Yellowstone, so I'm not on my gaming PC. I'm on a Mac, and so that's why the audio quality on this one's going to be bad, but the content's going to be like A++, like mind blowing stuff as usual.
put in the comments if you know of a good chat app that we can use so that this is not a nightmare. I also need to upgrade my computer because my computer is like 13 years old, roughly. But as soon as we get more Patreon subscribers, I'm going to use that money to buy a webcam / new computer.
Yeah,
Quality for everything will be awesome.
we tried Discord. What was the problem with Discord?
Discord, I don't know, the frame rates were really bad for some reason because it was trying to do a lot of HD stuff, I think.
Ugh.
And then the issue with
we tried
Slack.
Yeah,
we use Slack, and Slack costs money to
like the reason I tried it is because like apparently it's super popular with corporations or whatever, so it's like maybe it's good. No, it costs money.
We're huge rookies at this, so we're still
but
trying to figure out the streaming game.
But that's what makes it funny and endearing. Okay, so
all right, so we're live. So today, gameplay wise, we're gonna play some Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I actually should not have downloaded this version, but that's okay. So this is, if I don't know, just a little historical background. So Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic and Knuckles, right, was the 4th iteration of the Sonic games, and they had this really advanced feature where you can open the top of the cartridge and then you can insert another cartridge onto it. And so yeah, it was awesome, dude. So you'd have these 2 cartridges that are stacked up, and it would put Knuckles, the character that's introduced in Sonic 3, you could play as him in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, or you can play him in Sonic 3. It was pretty cool.
Didn't that break some of the original level design?
A little bit. I'll actually play as Knuckles today, I guess. And I don't know. Jay and I talked about this prior to recording, but you'll notice that this gameplay will be kind of crappy just because I'm mostly focused on trying to get good conversation and not so much good gameplay.
Yeah, it's hard to game and stream, man. Yeah. So I mean, maybe next time we can just talk, but I don't know.
This is a new thing also that Sonic 3 introduced, where you could save the files. So you could save a game and then you can go back to it. So if you died right away or whatever, you can always like go back to your save file and play. It was a very cool feature. This is the first time they had it. I think Mario had this for the longest time, right?
Wait, what? You can't save games in Mario?
Super Mario World, I think you could.
Oh, I mean, I think there were save points or something. I don't remember.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This game also allowed you to play as Tails. So Tails also somewhat breaks the game because if you double jump, he flies because he has a little helicopter tail.
Right.
And so the levels, like, there were new things that you could access as these new characters.
Right, exactly.
But I'm gonna play as Knuckles just because he's fun to use. Anyways, so when you play Sonic and Knuckles, this emulator version I'm playing has Sonic 3 and the 4th game, right? Sonic and Knuckles. So as Knuckles, you play through the first game and then you play through the second game. Well, the game right after it, that is, the 4th game, technically.
Wait, what? All right, you lost me.
Well, so this is the emulated version of the cartridges stacked up, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so what I'm playing here is Sonic 3, but using a character that wasn't originally in Sonic 3.
Got it. Okay.
And then after you beat Sonic 3, you play Sonic and Knuckles, the game that came after this. So
wait, you can't play Sonic Knuckles directly. You have to beat Sonic 3 with Knuckles.
If you just want to play Sonic and Knuckles, you would just play that cartridge.
Oh,
without them stacked up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I accidentally went to this bonus world, which I'm just gonna die right away because this takes too much concentration. So I'm just gonna go into these red spheres and just die right away because I don't want to play this. Anyways, All right. So you're in Utah. You're hanging out with your in-laws, right?
Yeah. Like
And you have a baby on the way soon.
yeah, it's like a couple of weeks. So my wife wanted me to take my in-laws on a trip to Yellowstone. Since she's pregnant, like it's not safe for her to go on an airplane, so
Right.
she just wanted me to take him. And I think this will actually, because it's pretty crowded now with them in the house, so she just wanted some peace and quiet with
Yeah.
all of us gone.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna
Nothing wrong with that.
let her relax, and then she has friends there to take care of her in case anything goes wrong.
Okay.
So I think everything's good to go.
All right.
Yeah.
So since you're going to be a dad soon, I figured this episode we talk about parenting and stuff. And I have a bunch of questions for you, right, regarding parenting, and I have various opinions about random stuff involving parenting.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm completely qualified. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, that's a good question, right? So how have you prepared to be like a dad besides buying like a crib and like a car seat, right? Like how have you prepped? Have you read a bunch of books? What do you?
No, I haven't read any books.
Okay. All right. So
Like
you haven't read any parenting books or anything?
we have some books. I think some of my friends have different opinions, but some of them are just saying like you don't really need to read books. Like it's just silly.
Well, I mean, it depends how you want to do it.
But like there are a few. Like I did actually buy one book like specifically geared towards dads because I think there's not a lot of resources towards dads. Like a lot of them are geared more towards moms.
Okay.
But I think like because I interviewed a lot of my friends, and I think a lot of them they're saying like you really want to get your baby into a good sleep pattern. So I think that's the main thing I'm focused on. Because if you don't get them in a good sleep pattern, you're not going to get any sleep.
Yeah.
Which is going to make life miserable. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. And then like I haven't done a very good job preparing for the baby. Like
What have you bought? You probably bought a bunch of crap.
yeah, well, we got a bunch of we got everything mostly for free because like there's a bunch of people here just give away free baby stuff like the crib.
Like on Buy Nothing or something or what?
Like we did buy a car seat, but like
Oh, okay.
we got the crib for free and then like a bunch of baby toys and uh, yeah, there's like a swing type like you
Okay.
put the baby in this thing
You buy a
and
bunch of baby furniture, pretty much. So
yeah, like a bunch of baby stuff. I don't even know what it's
Okay.
called. But
Okay, that's fine.
obviously like we bought the clothes new because we don't want to like we bought a new
Yeah.
crib mattress and crib
Right.
clothing like
Probably a new mattress and stuff because
yeah
no one wants to use a used mattress these days.
I mean it could have Ebola or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Right? Like, I'm
So
not gonna say Ebola in videos, right?
probably.
Hopefully no one gets offended. Yeah.
So you bought a bunch of random stuff.
Yeah. And
You
then
haven't.
but
So
one
I guess how so. I was thinking about. I talked to one of my friends, right, who has 2 kids, and I think the cool thing about being a parent. I mean, there's probably a lot of cool things that I don't know about, but I think one of the cool things is that you get to share your interests with like another person. Right?
yeah.
But what kind of dad are you going to be, right? Are you going to force your kid to be into the stuff you are? Are you going to like, you know what I mean? Like there's definitely parents who are like, hey, you have to do this.
I do know what you mean. And like it's something I'm trying to figure out because like I think a lot of parents today, what they're doing is like on the weekends, their kids like they start off with soccer practice or whatever, and then it's like piano lessons, and then
Right.
dance classes, and then drawing class. Like they have like 5 different classes all stacked up one after the other, and like the kids basically just completely booked on the weekends.
I think it's projecting too a little bit. Like, hey, I maybe they weren't. Have you ever seen Varsity Blues and like James Van Der Beek's like the star quarterback and his dad just like forcing him to play football?
Right. Yeah.
Right? So your kid doesn't necessarily want your life, right?
Yeah, but see, I'm not even talking about like something like where they're just focused on one thing like football. I'm saying like a lot of parents like they're like trying to cram as much activities for their kids to do as possible because like that way they can get into Harvard or MIT because they have like 10 different things they've worked on. And you like during summer vacation they'll take them to leadership camp or something. Sure. Like I think that's like a big thing, leadership camp. I don't even know what that means. Although technically, I did go to the Asian leadership camp.
You did. I think that's how I met you. I think.
Yeah. like I didn't get that much out of it. Although like I made a lifelong friend with
Me.
you weren't even in the program. I was gonna say
But I met you because
I was gonna say
I
I
had a
was gonna
friend.
say our other friend Dgok Lu.
DJLaoD, yeah.
Yeah, Dgok. That's not a racial slur. That is actual his AIM screen name. Okay, it's Dgok Lu. Uh, yeah, and we had a lot of adventures together.
Yeah.
Me, you, him, and Pablo. That was good times. Uh, but yeah, like I don't know, like I don't want my kids to like be that crammed. Like I think it's important that kids have time to play. Like when I was a kid, like I just like went outside to play with other kids, right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't so structured where we had 10 different
Right.
classes on the weekend.
It's different now, man. Like I a lot of kids I don't know. There's just so many activities geared towards kids nowadays. I feel like maybe because my parents were because they were
Yeah,
like immigrants and they didn't really know about all that stuff.
yeah,
But I definitely was never. I mean, I was like I just came home from school every day and I just did my homework and then I just kind of hung out and
yeah. And I think it kind of sucks that kids can't do that anymore. Like, uh, like I think they have a term for it now called latchkey kids.
latchkey kids are. I mean,
Like,
that's a well-known term, but yeah,
yeah, but like it's so crazy that you have to have a term for it because when we were growing up, like we just played outside, completely unsupervised. Like it was like third grade, fourth grade,
yeah. It's a
and
different
like
time. It's a different time.
and like uh, yeah, it's crazy because like I don't even though I grew up that way, I don't think I would feel safe to let my kids play unsupervised now, which is
Yeah,
insane. But then like they're missing out on a lot because that was just a lot of fun.
yeah.
The unstructured playtime. And I don't think there's actually more pedophiles now today. I think it's just reported more in the
Oh,
news.
I think that's true about a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
which kind of sucks, but yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna let my kids play unsupervised.
Okay,
Which is
that's fine. Yeah.
well,
So
is it
what hobbies do you want to get your kid into?
nerdy stuff like chess.
What if he's not into that? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there's a fine line because like kids in general, they're just gonna want to goof off all day. So like if you don't force them to do something, like they might actually be good at it, but then like they don't have the discipline to actually become good at it, and you have to push them, which I
I'm
think is the approach Asian parents take.
yeah.
Because
I
yeah,
so are do your parents have any hobbies that you are also interested in? You know what I mean?
I don't think my parents really had any hobbies. That's the
Okay.
thing. My dad's hobby was working all the time
Yeah.
because he was doing a PhD.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Right? My parents worked all the time and they didn't really have hobbies. But I think about it and I'm like, and I think this. I'd like to believe that this is true. That when I have kids and they just see me doing something, right? Let's say I'm rock climbing or something, they would genuinely just be interested in doing it just because I'm doing it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not necessarily because I push them to do anything. And maybe that's not going to be true, but I think that's probably true. But again, I can't speak from experience that I like stuff because my dad was into it because my dad was working all the time,
Exactly. Yes, same
so he
here.
didn't really have hobbies. He liked watching basketball, and that was kind of our thing, right? We would watch basketball together. But
Yeah,
by and
like
large, most of my hobbies were
right. Like
just
I would watch kung fu shows with my dad. That was
what
our thing.
like Kung Fu: The Legend with David Carradine.
No, no, no. That's terrible. That's like a white person show. It's awful, man.
Okay,
That's not.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but okay.
No, I'm allowed to say I'm Asian. Like that show was terrible. It was supposed to star Bruce Lee, and then they gave it to some random white guy. Like, come on, come on. That's garbage. It's complete garbage. I'm siding with the SJWs on this one.
Okay. I don't know if you're allowed to say that either, but okay. So, okay, so you want to get your kid into some chess. What else would you want to get
Yeah,
your
chess, violin, piano, like some kind of musical instrument. Um, and then obviously because like these kind of hobbies are going to get him beat up. Like he needs to do he definitely needs to do jujitsu. So I just want to teach him
See,
like
now you're projecting it, so you're like, he has to do this stuff, right? But what if he
it's
just doesn't want to do that stuff?
it, it doesn't matter if you want to be safe or not, right? Like, like yeah, I don't want to get bullied, but people bullied me in school and I didn't know how to defend myself. So like, Yeah, I just want my kid to like learn a few basic things, like like a basic takedown, how to pass the guard, and then
Okay.
side control, and then just
Okay.
ground and pound. Like, unfortunately, I'm not good enough at jiu-jitsu to teach him that, but
Well, maybe
like,
by the time your son's old enough to do that.
yeah, like
Okay.
I'm still getting stomped, but
Yeah.
like I want him to have that kind of training so he can be mentally tough, and that'll equip him. And it doesn't matter if he wants to or not, because like yeah, I didn't want to get bullied, but the bullies found me, you know?
Well, they
Yeah,
always do. Kids are mean, dude. Kids
yeah.
always will.
So like, but like if he doesn't want to stick to like a practical martial art or whatever, like he still has to do like one sport. Like he has to do the sport. That
Yeah,
was
that's
yeah.
one thing I missed out on in life. Like, I think I am of adequate size and strength to do a lot of sports. I just don't have any kind of um.
Yeah, yeah. For people who don't know, DJ Loud has like an 8 pack or something disgusting like that,
Okay,
and
not
then
really, but
uh,
uh,
yeah, you have an 8 pack, and then
well, like I
like
never
a
played any
single.
sports, so I have like no coordination and stuff, right? And
Yeah, that's fine, but like
I
you
can't
have
blame my parents for that, I suppose. But
you have a
'cause-
body of the gods, so like I think next time for a show you should wear like a tight fitting shirt,
not gonna do that.
like maybe
Not,
like a rash guard or something. I
not
think that
gonna
would be
do that.
good. I'll wear one too. Like
Okay,
I
not
have
gonna do that.
like I have a big stomach, but like I think everything else is relatively okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's like
Well, wear rash guards. It'll be good.
okay. Well, you got me way off topic here, but yeah. But yeah, like I think sports are important not just because of the coordination and stuff that it might give you, but I think it builds in you this grit, right? Which I think a lot of kids lack nowadays. Like
I
speaking from
agree.
experience as a teacher, right? Like I think sports teach you that if you work on something hard enough, you can improve your ability,
Yeah,
and
and yeah,
and also that it's okay to fail, right? Like
yeah.
well, I don't know. I mean, they give participation prizes now, and
Oh
that's
yeah, that's so stupid.
not okay with that. I don't remember that being a thing when we were kids. I mean, I always talk. I do not think that we had participation trophies. I didn't play sports, but I like to believe that we
Oh,
did not.
oh, actually, something funny. Like, what's sad is I actually do remember in fifth grade, like they were giving out participation trophies. Like
Okay.
it was like for fifth grade, and like they were giving awards to everybody, and they're like coming up with random bullshit awards.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing was I didn't even get a single award, like because they were coming up with all these different ones, but like I
Yeah.
didn't even get a single one. But I thought it was better that way. Like
I
even though there was emotional scarring, like
for
it all
what?
worked out.
For what?
Because like they were giving out participation trophies, and I couldn't even qualify for a participation trophy, right?
For what? I don't understand.
Like it was for fifth grade. Like they were just giving out like random awards for all the students.
Like attendance? You didn't get the attendance award?
Yeah, like it wasn't just attendance. It
I
was
guess
just
attendance is hard. Attendance is hard to get, actually.
like they were like coming up with BS awards like best smile or just
Oh.
dumb stuff like that or
Did you have the
best.
best grades or anything?
No, because get this, it was crazy, right? When I was in elementary school, like in New Jersey, I think I was getting straight A's, but when I moved to Seattle, I got my first F.
Okay.
Yeah, and like because what happened was it turned out we had the science fair, and I didn't know the science fair was required, and so I just didn't do the science fair, and so I got an F in science. But
Actually, you
nobody
know
told.
what's yeah, I had that issue too, because how involved were your parents in your like education?
Not really.
Yeah, see, I had that issue too, and so like I think like my first few years and stuff, I was just like, I'm just not gonna do homework, you know? And I think people who know me will think that's weird of me to say, but I literally like when I was in first grade. I mean, in first grade, who cares, right? Who really gives a shit?
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, in first grade and stuff, I didn't do homework, I think, and I might have been like super lazy from what I recall. I don't know.
yeah.
Who cares? Because that's not who I am anymore. So
Nope, definitely not.
no.
You now you just give the hardest tests. That's
Yeah,
good.
I guess so.
Uh, yeah, like not only did I get an F in science, I think I got like a C in language arts because when I moved to Seattle, like the teacher gave me an assignment. Like she said, we needed to become pen pals with other people and tell them what it was like to live in Seattle. And I was
I
like,
wonder if
well,
people do that anymore. I wonder if people do that anymore.
I don't think
Pen
so.
pals. Pen pals.
Nah, I think that's over.
That
Uh,
was a cool school activity, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, the issue with like I didn't know what it was like to live in Seattle, but like I was too scared to tell the teacher like, well, what should I do for this assignment? Because I haven't really lived in Seattle. I just moved here, and because like I was too shy to like talk to the teacher, like I just bombed the assignment instead, basically. Like
Okay.
that was mostly why like I did really bad in fifth grade. I was just like too terrified to talk to the teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Uh,
found your way in middle school, so you did it.
Yeah, like I had a close call with gym because like with gym class, like if you miss more than 2 weeks of gym, like you'll get a C or whatever.
Did
And
you go
like
to one of those gyms where in middle school, did your gym require you like to suit up for gym?
no, no.
Oh, really? You just wore your street clothes? Or
I think
did you have to
I think
change? You didn't have to
I think
change.
I changed into shorts, I think.
Okay. But you didn't have to shower. 'Cause that's
No,
gross.
no. Yeah, that's
That was,
gross.
that was the worst, dude.
Yeah. But like I went to China that year and then like I made sure I came back on the last day so I wouldn't miss more than 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason like the attendance taker that day like recorded me as absent.
Okay.
And then but like this time like so what happened is I just complained and I just cried when they said they were going to give me a C because I thought my life was over. And then
In fifth grade?
yeah, no, this was in seventh grade. And then after enough crying, like he still wouldn't budge. But then I was like, there was an extra credit run we could do, and then when I said, I would have done the extra credit run if you had told me that I was going to get a C, but you never did. So then he allowed me to do the extra credit run, and then I bumped my grade up to a B.
This is the weirdest story ever, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
But like, I was going to get a C in gym class, and that was going to ruin my grade point average, man.
Right?
That would have like ended my life, you know. At least
Okay.
that's what I thought back
That's what
then.
you thought, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
it
now I
wouldn't
know
happen.
like grades are so stupid and like they don't even matter until what, high school? And then like in college they're completely useless unless you want to go to grad school.
Even in grad, yeah, even then, I don't know. Anyways, I have you thought about stuff like what school district you're gonna live in? Because this is something that I never had to think about, right? My buddy who has kids, like he's trying to move and stuff now because they want to be in a good school district. There's a lot of stuff that I never thought that you would have to be worried about, but like I just moved recently, and so when I moved, the things I was worried about was like, what am I going to be close to, and how much is the rent? But when you're a parent, you have to be concerned about, hey, what school district am I in, right? Are you have those kind of things like? I guess what I'm asking is, have these like parenting issues like start to come kind of like arise yet?
Yeah, I guess I think my wife's more worried about the school district. I kind of think like school's a scam. I'm allowed to say that on the video, right? Like,
I'm sure you can say whatever. I
no,
mean,
no,
it's
I can say that. Okay,
you just have to be honest. I think is what our viewers want. You just have to be
yeah,
genuine.
you can't say it, but
Be who you are, right?
like the way I look at it, when we were going to school, like Garfield was a pretty good school,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like number one was a Lakeside private school. Like that was like the top of the line. Um,
I think to some degree education matters. It's got to, right?
no,
They
because
got
like the
they've
thing
got
is,
to teach you how to read correctly.
no, because you just learn that on your own. Because like what happened was like my parents, right? Like they would just give me extra stuff to do
You know, honestly, what
outside
I
of.
think well, okay, that is true to some degree. I think what's also really important is the friends you make, right? I
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think if you have the wrong friends, and I think maybe that's all related. There's I don't know. We could talk about education for a while and like how that all affects like socioeconomic class and like what district that would put you in and all that stuff, and then what friends would you make from there and what kind of influences you might have and stuff. It's yeah. There's just a lot of different factors.
Oh, okay, I didn't think it from that perspective. I think, yeah, then I think that's why like they're all concerned about good school districts is like to make sure you make the right kind of friends.
Yeah.
But I would say like for Garfield, like I would say some of the teachers were really good. Like I would say like half of them, and then half of them were just complete utter garbage. I mean, you remember Miss
Yeah.
Brown, like she gave us coloring books of animals,
Yeah.
and then she would show us PBS specials of
Yeah.
animals having sex. Like she was like
Exactly.
the worst teacher.
And
And
look at me now. I'm a scientist, dude.
yeah,
So
exactly. And like, and every year, like parents would petition to fire her, and it was fine. Like it didn't matter. Like sure, there was like a lot of bad teachers, but like the students who were good, like I think their parents just gave them extra stuff to do. Like my parents, and then it all worked out. Yeah, but I think the main issue is like the kind of friends that you made in high school.
Yeah, friends definitely matter. Friends are
Yeah, that's true.
perhaps the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, so I didn't think about it from that perspective. So that's interesting. But then I would say like yeah, there were a lot of bad elements at Garfield too. Like
Sure.
but like, and I'm talking about one of my closest friends. Like a lot of them, they just smoked pot all the time, and I became close friends with them. I still managed to turn out okay. Like
Yeah.
I was straight edge until college. So
Yep. Yep. Look at you now, dude. Psychedelics all the time.
whoa, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. Uh, yeah. So
That
you're traveling with your in-laws, right?
yeah.
Have you traveled with your parents recently?
No, I haven't. Let
But
me-
you traveled with your parents as adults, right? Or I mean, have you spent
yeah, like last year, my wife and I took him to Oregon on an Oregon trip. Yeah, it was pretty
have you
good.
spent significant amount of time with your parents? And this is another parenting question, kind of. I mean, have you spent like large amounts of time with your parents as
Like,
an adult? As an adult.
well, I mean, like when I was living in Seattle, like I was living with them until like age 25, I think.
Uh-huh.
And then after I got my own place, like they still lived like 30 minutes away.
Right.
So yeah, I spent a lot of time with them. And then like when I moved to New Jersey, like in 2017, that was like the longest that I haven't really been spending time with them.
Um, and I don't see the reason I ask is I wonder if so I went on a trip with my parents recently,
Yeah.
and I've come to realize that a lot of the stuff that my parents do, those are like a lot of idiosyncrasies, like those have kind of passed on to me to some extent. And I'm
Yeah.
wondering if you notice that kind of stuff. And
Uh,
as you're like as you're becoming a dad, like it's it's obviously something that you might be thinking about. Like what kind of weird habits would you like pass on to your son, right?
yeah, I think the like my
You do it subconsciously, right? It's not.
right. Like I noticed like my dad likes to lecture a lot. Like when he has like a strong opinion on something, he starts going
Right.
lecture mode.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I, I do that all the time. I
Yeah.
notice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
super weird, right? I think everyone just kind of becomes their parents after a while, is what I noticed after I went on vacation with my parents. Because I
Yeah.
was like, the more I become an adult, the more I realize that like a lot of like stuff like that, where they like to lecture or
Right.
I don't know, just like habits, one habit that I have is like a standard like Chinese mom, and so I don't know how your mom is, but when you go home, does your mom like wonder if you've gotten enough to eat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you're right. That's like a very standard like Asian mom thing.
Yeah.
And so like I have that habit too, right? Like people come over or whatever, I'm always worried that people don't have enough to eat. It's like weird like stuff like that have it's not weird I suppose, but it's just like habits that at sometimes I would find annoying, but it's definitely something that I have picked up as an adult.
Yeah, exactly. But then I think the cool thing is you take the best of both worlds because like my dad's usually pretty serious. He doesn't do stuff for the lulls at all.
Yeah,
Like
but look
he's
at you,
maybe
dude. We're doing this
yeah, like
podcast for the
yeah,
lulz.
exactly. Like I think my dad's maybe cracked 10 jokes in his entire life or whatever. But I think like
Okay.
my mom's like more funny, so or at least my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
So I picked it up from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you pretty close with your parents?
Yeah, I would say so. Like I think like because yeah, I lived with them until I was 25, and it was pretty annoying. Like I was doing it to save money,
Yeah.
not just because I was a big loser or whatever. Uh,
But
just
also because of that.
yeah, sure. I mean, sorry, it was really funny. Like I was talking to some girl at a party, and then like I just let slip that I live with my parents, and I was like 25, and she had this look of disgust. But if I could play that situation again today, I would have handled it differently. I'd been like,
Yeah.
shut up. I'm saving money, you idiot. And that's why I was able to buy my own place like pretty early. So,
Yeah.
anyways, like I wish I could just find her on the street now and be like, yeah, look at me now. But too late.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's like stuff that the older you get, the more you realize that weird stuff, right? Or even like there's like random stuff that maybe your parents did that kind of affects you now as an adult, right?
Oh
Your
yeah, like yeah, my dad was. Were your parents really strict?
Um, no, quite the
Wait,
opposite
really?
actually. My parents were
Okay.
not strict at all. They kind of just let me do whatever.
Whoa.
And
Okay.
my parents actually never checked my grades. Like
Oh wow. Okay.
when the report cards came in the mail and stuff, I would be the one who would open them and look at them, and I'd be like, okay, well, there they are, and then I like throw it away
Wow.
or something. Yeah, my parents never looked at my grades. They just kind of took my word for it that I had good grades.
Okay, but you still got into the PhD program and got a P.
That's,
Okay, that's amazing. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
great.
did your parents look at your grades?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it had to be 4.0, right? Like,
Do you think that like negatively affects like how you feel about yourself?
I think it was more like the very strict upbringing. Like my dad was very strict with me. Like if I couldn't memorize the multiplication tables correctly, he would yell at me. I think like that negatively impacted my self-confidence a lot.
Hmm.
But luckily, because I had a lot of bad friends or bad influences, like once I was in college and drinking a lot of alcohol,
You do
uh,
have self-esteem issues. That is a
yeah,
interesting point.
yeah. But like the alcohol basically, helped a lot.
Well,
And after like
alcohol is
10,
a social lubricant, so it
like
solves a lot of issues.
after 10 plus years of drinking a lot and getting into a lot of adventures for the lulz,
Yeah.
like it's made a big difference, and kind of like overcome all the childhood trauma of having a strict upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yeah, I would say like I'm a lot more confident now, and like my life's pretty good,
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like I started traveling around the world by myself and just like doing a lot more stuff outside my comfort zone, which I
Did your
never would.
parents travel or no?
Yeah, they travel a lot now.
But
Back
before, when you were a
back
kid, I
then
mean,
back then they didn't really have that much money, so no. But like now they're retired, so they travel a lot more,
yeah.
more than me actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about like how your parents raised you and how that made you who you are. I reflect on that a lot. I mean,
So your
yeah,
parents
that's
weren't
where the
strict? That's crazy.
no, my
So
parents are not strict,
you
and
still
that
got a PhD. Wow, that's insane.
I mean that's all self-motivated to some extent.
Oh,
I mean,
nice, man. Nice.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I think it's important to be self-motivated, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How will you teach your son to be self-motivated? That's the question.
I think motivation's stupid. I think it's more about discipline. Because like
I don't know. Is it?
motivation's like a feeling and that comes and goes. You just have to be disciplined, like just get your crap done. Stop making excuses and feeling sorry for yourself.
Did your parents buy you like a lot of toys and stuff? Like, what kind of parent are
Not
you gonna be?
really.
Are you gonna buy a lot of toys or?
I don't think so. Like, well, we were poor, so like we didn't like I didn't even get a Nintendo until like I was a lot older, and I never even got a Super Nintendo or a Sega, because like yeah, back then we didn't have that much money, but it was fine because like I got to play outside with kids, and I think that was a lot better, anyways.
Man, my parents were like the opposite. They would like my parents never like would say no when I wanted something, which is
Wow.
weird. I don't know. I'm very lucky, right?
Yeah, but you didn't
Uh,
turn out spoiled or anything, because like you still managed to get a PhD, which like for
that
people
is
who don't know,
unrelated to like
no, it
that.
is because like kids who are spoiled, they wouldn't have the discipline to like get a PhD, because like people who don't know, it's like one of the hardest things to do
It's not.
ever. It really
It's not.
is.
It's not.
Like it's so grueling.
It's not. It's not. It depends, but for me, it was just like whatever. It's
It
I had a
it,
different
it
I
was
had
a
a different experience.
PhD like that. That's yeah, man. Like that's rough. Like
Anyone could do it. Anyone could do it.
many can, but few do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did not have a lot of toys. Are there any toys that you wanted as a kid growing up? Like, are you gonna buy? So you're not gonna spoil your kid, is what you're telling me.
Um.
Or maybe you're just saying that right now. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. Like right now, my wife's the one buying all the like the little toys for the baby.
the
So
other thing that affects you, I think, also is you're an only child, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Is your wife an only child?
Yeah.
No. So, are you guys gonna have more than one kid?
I think that depends on her, because like, yeah, pregnancy sucks.
Yeah,
So it's if she wants to go through it again, because pregnancy is rough.
yeah. I've heard it's better after the first one, but I'm not a woman, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
I've never had
that's
kids either,
yeah,
so. But
yeah,
that's what a lot of people say.
yeah, but it is rough. Like it's really, I had no
I'm
idea.
sure. Yeah,
But like, yeah, everyone should be grateful for their mothers. Like
yeah,
they went through a lot to
yeah.
deliver. Yeah. Um, yeah, but I think yeah, so even though like I think my dad like destroyed my self-confidence, he also did a lot of other things like because he had a really good work ethic because of his serious side, and he would always like persist at things, and I think he was really stubborn, so
Hmm.
I think I picked up those things
Yeah.
from him, um, and and those have been helpful, you know, in work, like and then combined with like the more uh, joking side of my mom. I think it's like a pretty good balance.
Yeah.
I think like the main thing I had to like all the psychological issues I worked out was like to stop blaming my dad, you know, for a traumatic childhood, and kind of
Do you
just
think your
let
childhood
it
was
go.
traumatic, or was it just like a normal Asian child?
It was like a normal Asian upbringing, but like if you talk to white people, they'd be like, "Oh my God, that's horrible," right? Like it's like
Yeah.
you know, like my dad would like call me
Did your parents
stupid
have
and
that
stuff.
feather duster that they used to whoop your ass?
No,
Like you know what I'm talking about? A
no, I
lot
never.
of Asian kids who are listening to this podcast will know what that is. That are of our age. You're not allowed to hit your kids nowadays, so it's like
Yeah, like I don't even know if I can talk about like being hit by my dad because I don't want him to be sent to Child Protective
I
Services.
think it's too late for that.
So yeah, no, he would just slap me in the face occasionally.
Yeah.
But like yeah, if you told it to a white person, it'd be like, oh my God. But it's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. It's normal. But he would slap me in the face if like I couldn't figure out the multiplication tables or something, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like I told my wife this story and she was like, are you stupid? How come you couldn't figure out the multiplication tables? That's so easy. So she had the same thing, right? So like I don't think it's traumatic, but like that's kind of like how we grew up,
Yeah.
right? But I guess your parents weren't that strict with you.
My parents never hit me. No.
Yeah, so see, I think
They
like
would
that
yell at
just
me for some stuff, you know. I mean, obviously, if I did something real stupid, they'd probably yell at me. But no, my
yeah,
parents were, yeah,
I think that
not
just goes
strict
to
with me.
show the Asian parenting method is unnecessary. Like you don't have to like destroy your child's like self-worth and self-image. Like
I don't know. Our parents came from a different time too. I don't know.
yeah,
Are your parents from China, like
yeah,
mainland?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just different, man. Like we have it pretty good. Like when I went on vacation with my dad, um, you know, my mom was telling me these stories about how like my parents grew up super poor. I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am now, but my parents grew up very poor. My
right.
mom grew up during the communist revolution, right, in
Yep,
China.
exactly, exactly.
She was part of that Great Leap Forward. So, and
Yeah.
if people don't know what the Great Leap Forward was, it's when, well, at the time, the way you prove to be a world power is basically you produce a lot of steel, right? And so Mao had this great idea that people would build steel furnaces in their backyards. And so my mom has very vivid images and memories of like hand pressing these like coal blocks, right? Because they didn't, I don't know. I mean, it was like basically she was taking coal dust and like compressing it into like bricks of coal so that people could try to make steel in their backyard. Turns out people cannot generate enough heat to like smelt down or like melt, iron and convert it into steel. So the Great Leap Forward was a great leap into failure. Um,
I was gonna say Great Leap Backward, but yeah,
yeah, that even
yeah,
better.
yeah. Communism doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah, like my parents grew up during that. It was bad. It's terrible. Yeah.
So yeah, man, like, uh, so yeah, that was my mom, and my dad grew up in like this very poor farm area of China called Kaiping, right?
Right.
And I mean, when he was a kid, my mom told me he would like dig up like palm tree roots and eat that because there's nothing else to eat, right? Like, how
Yeah.
shitty is that? You know,
Yeah.
I complain sometimes because I like open the fridge and I'm like, oh man, there's just not enough options in here for me to eat. But But my dad was like digging up like shitty plant roots to eat, just to get some kind of like carbohydrate and food into his stomach. It's crazy, dude. Like,
but I think that's an advantage, like, because like
well,
people today are more soft, right? And like they don't have the hardness
yeah.
that
But
our
that's the
parents'
thing. Like,
generation had.
despite that crap, like my parents were never hard on me, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. They were, yeah.
Yeah, we still got 4.0, so it all worked out. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
PhD, nice work.
You
Nice
keep
work.
saying that. You keep saying that. It's not as big of an accomplishment as you may think, but
No,
I
I know now. I know because like I talked to my wife. I've seen firsthand. Like I had no idea before, but I understand. Like now I understand like what my dad went through.
so your parents came from China to like study or something or what?
So my dad came to America to finish his PhD in oceanography or to get his PhD in oceanography, and
Okay.
then I came to America when I was three
Why
years
did
old.
he want to do that? Like, why was that? Was that his passion? Like,
No, the communists just randomly assigned him like the
oh, really?
yeah, because he worked in the shipyard during the Cultural Revolution, and they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
well, he worked in the ship,
How old
so
are your parents? How old are your parents?
60-ish.
Oh, they're pretty young. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my parents are like 70.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I'm the younger of the two children, so that, yeah. My sister is much older than you, so it like timeline wise, it kind of makes sense why my parents are older than yours, because I'm like the second kid.
Okay, I had no idea you even had a sister. Okay,
Oh,
that's
well,
crazy.
we learned so much about each other from this
Yeah.
podcast.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. We're pretty long on time here, but I
All
will
right, let's
bring up
do one
this.
more topic. Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
do
do
one
one
more.
more topic. Yeah,
All right.
internet and
Okay.
growing up in the internet age. How um how do you think that like has affected people like having the internet?
Are we talking about 90s internet or like today's internet?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess
Uh,
today's kind of. I guess.
oh, I think today's internet is terrible. It's just ruining lives. Uh,
Why? Like, why do you think the internet is a negative thing?
yeah, it's awful. Like even just setting aside the porn thing, like you can watch the TED talk about like your brain on porn and how it just ruins you
Yeah.
because like it turns your brain into that of an addict. But I'm
Right.
just setting aside that. It's more of like all the isolation that the internet
Yeah.
causes because it's not
It's a little
like
scary, right?
it's yeah, like everyone's like on Instagram, but it's fake. You're just
Right.
posting up fake pictures like with
Right.
like filters trying to look cool
Well,
and
it's
just
a
to farm.
glorified view of life, which is not healthy.
Yeah, you're just trying to farm for likes, and I guess I'm guilty of that. But since like I only have like two Instagram followers, like
I didn't even
I
know
don't
you had an Instagram. What's your Instagram? Put
I
it. Let's
don't worry about it.
let's get some viewers on your Instagram, dude.
No, I don't
What is
want
it?
I don't want viewers on my Instagram.
Come on, dude.
Nah,
What's your
no.
Instagram?
Don't worry about it.
Share it, share
We
it.
we can link your Instagram in the show notes.
I don't have an Instagram.
Oh, that's good then. Yeah, because Instagram's terrible. But I mean that's just like one example, right? It's like it's called social media, but it's more antisocial. And you look at the studies that show that people are actually depressed and unhappy about it, and that's why people uninstall Facebook from time to time.
Yeah.
Because it's
Social
not,
media, I really hate social media actually,
yeah,
because I don't like the glorified view of like,
right, exactly.
life. I don't.
Like
It's just too fake. It feels
like
too fake.
the reason I like it is it's been really good to keep in touch with my friends, and that's
That is a nice feature. I agree.
like for example, last week, one of my friends I hadn't seen in over a decade, like he was in town in New York. He just posted a picture. He was in New York. I was like, holy crap, you're in New York, and I just messaged him and we hung out, and I hadn't seen him in like 10 plus years. So that was great, and that's why I haven't like gotten rid of Facebook completely.
Yeah.
But like it's like yeah, Facebook's terrible, and then like all these apps, right, like that deliver food to your doors,
Yeah, it makes
all
people
these things.
lazy. There's
It
well,
yeah
it's the instant gratification thing actually is what
yeah
I hate about the internet. Because like I think people, and I see this with students a lot, they kind of lose I don't know how to phrase it, but they have no patience really, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah, like they just want it
They want it
now.
instantaneously, and you can get
Right.
so much information so fast on the internet, but you can't learn effectively, right? It's a different type. They Kids nowadays have information coming at them faster than ever, but um, they're not learning in the same way that we used to learn.
Yeah,
It's just it's their minds are like getting altered differently, So how are you going to combat that with your son? Like, I mean, I guess the internet will be a very different place when he's like old enough to use the internet, I suppose.
Yeah, like I'm also worried. Like this is my fear is like he's gonna get cyberbullied or whatever, and then commit
I
suicide.
don't think you have to worry about that.
No, no, I like because like that's apparently a thing. Like he's gonna get
I realize it's a thing, but I think
cyberbullied, and then because like a lot of kids
I think
they'll
that's
commit
part of
suicide.
that's like
Because like they don't have the perspective. Like
I
they
think
think
you have
their
to be
life.
there as a parent too for some of that stuff. But
Yeah, like they think their life's over, but like they forget. Like in the age of social media, even if you do get embarrassed on Facebook, like people forget about it. They just move on to the next thing
yeah,
after a week. Like the Star Wars kid, right? He was humiliated for a long time, but you know,
which
and,
just
and
the guy who like was in his garage with a broomstick.
yeah, like I
That
heard
Star
like
Wars.
he had a lot of psychological trauma
Oh
for a
really?
long time,
I didn't know that.
which really sucks. But like like you have to have the perspective. It's not going to last forever, and it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Look at you in high school. You were probably super depressed in high school all the time.
Oh yeah, because I got beat up all the time. Like I wasn't cyberbullied. I was just physical bullied
Oh.
and made fun of, right? But yeah, I do think like on social media, things do seem a lot worse because it's like forever, and
Yeah.
it's captured
Wow.
on there.
Kind of forever.
So I'm gonna hopefully see. I don't know how much control I have, but try not to get my kid a phone for a long time and not
Yeah.
let him sign up for Snapchat or whatever is going to be popular. Because it's not going to be Snapchat, right? Like by the time like he's a teenager, it's going to be whatever thing is the next hotness.
I guess. I have
Yeah,
no idea.
because
Anything
like
can happen. I mean, your kid's not even born yet, so
yeah,
who
I'm
knows
just
what will
really
happen.
scared about that. Um, yeah, like
But if you love your kid enough and you spend quality time with him and like and show him how to be kind in the world, I think that's enough. You know? I think.
yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make sure he plays outside, supervised, of course. But like, he
Okay.
just needs to like go out, get some fresh air.
Kids
And
don't do that a lot anymore. It is sad. Yeah.
well, yeah, and I think that's part of the problem of all these apps is like you don't go outside anymore. Everything's delivered to your door.
Yeah.
Like I was in Cambodia, right, and like
You
there
think
was
you're connected, but you're really not.
exactly like you need to like go and have that sense of community. Like in Cambodia, like I went to the market and there's like a bustling place where people are haggling and talking to each other. Like that's how it should be. But these apps are destroying all of that. And like
Yeah.
Amazon Go, there's not even going to be people at the checkout counter. Um,
Automation, dude. That's the wave of the future.
yeah,
That's what Andrew Yang says.
yeah. So like we have to like be prepared for that and all the problems that it can cause. Sometimes I don't think the convenience is worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
Although I guess
I
my
like going to the store, and you like going to Barnes and Noble. You told me
yeah,
you like
exactly.
going to a
Yeah,
physical brick
yeah,
and mortar bookstore
yeah.
just to feel stuff.
Um, but right, like I was gonna say, my views do not represent the views of my employer. So yeah, just
You don't need to say that. You don't need. You can disagree with the views of your employer, dude.
don't fire me, bro. Is all I'm gonna say to any coworkers watching this
I
video.
think it's okay. I think it's okay, dude.
Yeah. Um,
All right.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna
So
connect, but it's an interesting topic. And then like I was thinking about that pen pal thing. Like yeah, I was thinking about like you don't have that deep connection.
people
Uh,
don't even write letters anymore, man. When's the
yeah.
last time you got like a handwritten letter?
I,
Besides like a postcard. Postcards people do relatively often, right? Send me a postcard. Send me a postcard from your trip.
and no, it's too much work. But like,
See what? What?
we're doing this like that's better. But I
Send
was
me
gonna.
a postcard. I want a handwritten postcard from you, dude.
No, it's too much work.
Okay.
Like,
See, this is
we'll just do it.
you'll just send me an email. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, okay. See, like, thing is, like, for me, like, I send really long emails to my friends. And most of the time they'll just send like a two-word reply, but like, I usually write long walls of text. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like it's not the same as a handwritten letter, but I can type pretty fast. So I do like writing
We
long
want
letters to my friends.
handwritten, man. Handwritten shows you care.
It's too much work, man. I can type way
Teach
fast.
your son cursive also. That's
Ugh,
another thing
no,
that's got
no, no. That's
the
no. It's useless, man. No.
what? How's he gonna sign checks?
Ugh, no, I'd rather teach my son calligraphy.
I asked my students the other day, like, because they use lab notebooks, right?
Yeah.
And their lab notebooks, it's like a carbon copy in the back, so that we can get a copy of their lab notebook, right? They tear
Oh,
off anyways. So it's like a check, right?
okay.
right? When you write a check, the back copies to like another page, so that when you rip off your check, there's a copy of what you wrote. And so I asked my students how many of them wrote checks, and like maybe like 3 of them raised their hand. We're at a different age now, man.
How do they pay for stuff?
I mean, nowadays, how often do you need a check nowadays? If you think about
yeah. Oh shoot! Like I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah.
But like,
not very often is the answer.
You still need checks for some things.
I mean, even I don't write checks that often, to be honest. Like I use them every so often, but there's direct deposit. There's like a million different ways that people can pay people. Venmo, PayPal.
Yeah, I use Venmo. Yeah.
Bitcoins, dude, or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just not very common anymore.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say like Venmo's good because like I think the world definitely needs Venmo, and I think that's been a net positive. So yeah, I would say like not all the internet has been bad.
There's a lot of good things about the internet. All right. I mean, I'm just saying that there are negative effects too, and people haven't really thought about that.
Yeah, I think the internet, if it's used as a tool to like meet people in the real world, is good. Like on ShoryouCan.com, like I met Orochi Zoolander, and then when I moved to New York, I've been hanging out with him a lot. We should bring him on the show sometime.
Yeah, we should. We should have some guests on the show.
Yeah, top 8 Super Turbo player. He's in North America. He's pretty sick. But like I've been hanging out with him, and then I met his friends, and that's like the positive of the internet is being able to keep in touch with people and like make new friends and go on adventures. But if it's just used to stay at home and post memes,
it's also I mean, there's also lots of information on the internet. I mean, all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like if you just use it to post memes at home all day,
porn,
like
then you're using it wrong.
it's going to lead to psychological problems, I think, and not a lot of people are addressing it.
You just gotta show your son how to have genuine relationships with people and how to like care, be kind and care. I think that's
like I want him to play outside.
Important.
Yeah, I want him to play outside. I think that's good. Okay, well I think we're at 52 minutes, so I think that
was good. I mean, we talked about some parenting and how to be kind and raise kids appropriately. We learned what kind of parent you're going to be. I mean,
these are good topics.
And obviously, you guys can write in the comments if you'd like to hear more. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. We appreciate all the listeners and all the help that you guys have given us to improve the show.
Yeah, trying to hit 1 million viewers. Make sure to subscribe to Dual Geeks as well. That's DJLaoD's channel, or DJLaoD, however you want to say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll keep the content coming for as long as people are interested in.
Even if people aren't, like I'm having fun doing this. So.
It is fun to have conversations, meaningful, deep conversations about stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty fun. So.
Also, post in the comments whether you want us to keep playing these games while we.
Yeah.
Because it's very stressful to game and try to have a decent conversation.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Like One Punch Man is good.
This game is actually very difficult for me because I didn't play it as much as I played Sonic.
Gotcha.
Sonic 1 and 2, and so I actually don't remember like what to do in some parts.
Yeah, I know, man. I feel like it's hard to game and talk. Those Twitch streamers are real pros. But yeah, all right, we're gonna sign off. Thanks for watching, guys. All right.
Thanks for watching. See you guys next. What's your travel schedule like?
I think we can do it like on Sunday. Otherwise, like on
When
Tuesday.
are you gonna be back from your vacation, dude? Tell the viewers where you're going and stuff. Where you're going
to Yellowstone, Grand Teton, and then I'll be back on Tuesday, and then flying to Seattle in a few days.
Oh, right. Maybe we should save it for the live show. You want to just save?
Yeah. Let's
all right.
do
So
that.
next time you see us, we'll be doing
Yeah, we'll see.
It's not really a live show, but it's it's a show where we'll be sitting next to each other instead of on a computer screen.
Yeah, it'll be good. All right.
Yeah, and we won't have webcam issues again. All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Signing off. Good night, guys.